What's going on with you guys? Welcome back to my channel. The Dallas Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles week 14 of the NFL season. Sunday night football game on NBC. This is the biggest game for the Dallas Cowboys. Before I start this video, I want to give a huge shout out to the Texas Longhorns for defeating Oklahoma State last weekend in the Big 12 championship game. They proved everyone wrong, and I know the Longhorns, that was their final time in the Big 12 conference. I know they're going to be in the SEC, which stands for Southern Eastern Conference. And the rivalry game I can't wait when they're in the SEC is when they play Texas A&M, Georgia, and Michigan. So with the win last week, the Texas Longhorns are in the college football playoff. So that means they play Washington on New Year's Day. I'll be making a video for that later on. So big shout out to the Texas Longhorns for punching their ticket to the college football playoff. Anyways, let's talk about this Cowboys versus Eagles game. These two teams do not like each other. The Cowboys took care of business last week Thursday, two weeks ago Thursday against Seattle. Dak Prescott played really good football, was throwing the passes to Jake Ferguson, kept the offense rolling, and led us to the comeback win against Seattle. That win last Thursday, we needed that win last 2 Thursdays to give us momentum and into the Philly game. Because you know that Philly team got beat by the 49ers Sunday 42-13. And I know this is a rematch game because what happened back in November, Dak Prescott had 3 touchdowns when we played Philly on the road. And I know there were some mistakes that we made. I mean, that last play, remember, when we played Philly on the road where Dak was trying to get in for the touchdown, but put his foot out of bounds because they were chasing after him. And I noticed that there were some mistakes that I saw on the film where he was getting sacked 5 times and they weren't protecting him. And the last play, when we played the Eagles on the road, the last play where Dak was trying to throw it to CeeDee Lamb, but time ran out. And, there was a lot of mistakes that they made. And I know the penalties cost us, but they just got to learn from that because, there were a lot of penalties in the Seattle game against Deron Bland where he was getting beat by DK Metcalf, who was out dueling him. So anyways, let's hear my keys to a Cowboys victory over these nasty Eagles. Number 1, Dak Prescott, just keep playing the same way like you did last week against Seattle and against the Chargers. I mean, Dak Prescott's in the MVP level. The jersey that I'm wearing, number 4. He needs to get CeeDee Lamb more the football by getting the first downs and handing the football more to Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard had 1,000 yards 2 Thursdays ago with that touchdown he had in the second half of the game, and they were able to keep the offense rolling. I want to see more of Dak Prescott getting the first down to CeeDee Lamb and using Jake Ferguson because that's the guy that we drafted last year. So they need to get Jake Ferguson, Terrence Steele, and you need to get the center to block for Prescott so he can get more time, so they can give Dak Prescott more time to throw the football and get the first down. My second key to the victory is that Micah Parsons and his defense, they need to get after Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts likes to run a lot, and they need to get after him and try to get the ball out. I mean, the defense is playing really good so far. I know the game against Seattle, there were a lot of penalties in that game that were hurting us, but they just can't beat themselves. They need to stay positive and try to stop the run and get after AJ Brown, because Jalen Hurts, I know he likes to run the football a lot, so they need to get after him, be able to stop the run, so that way if we get more of the turnovers, that Deron Bland can try to get another pick 6. That can help the defense score more points. Another third key victory is that they got to limit those penalties. We know the refs, they visualize which plays happened, like Thursday's game. I know there was a mistake that the refs made, but, penalties are penalties, and they got to limit that. They just can't be making the same mistakes like they did against Seattle. They just need to, try to make the right plays and have the defense be able to stop the run and be able to knock the ball out, so that way that can keep the Eagles off the field. And they gotta avoid the turnovers because I know last year the Cowboys beat Philly on Christmas Eve when we had T.Y. Hilton in that game. So the The defense needs to stay positive. They just can't be making those mistakes. They got to stop the run and get after Jalen Hurts. And Michael Parsons, I want to see him knock the ball out of Jalen Hurts and able to get the fumble. Deron Bland is, in my prediction, I think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year because he's the guy that's stepping up for Trayvon Diggs. I want to see him get another pick six. And he needs to get after the wide receiver because he can't be getting beat like what happened, like what DK Metcalf did in that 2 weeks ago Thursday Night Football game. So Deron Bland, just keep being you. Try to get another pick six. You're doing really good so far. So I want to see 2 more pick six in this game. So I have the Cowboys winning 42-35. This Philly team, they're not the same who they were when we faced them on the road. And I know that Philly team, they have the worst fan base, and I know Kansas City beat them in the Super Bowl last year. So I have the Cowboys winning 42-35. Let me know in the comment section below how much the Cowboys will win by. And before I end this video, I want to give a huge shout out to my followers out there in San Antonio and around the Houston area supporting Cowboys Nation. Always make sure that you're betting responsibly, and let's see what happens on Sunday. Because if the Cowboys beat the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, then we move up to first place in the NFC East. And we just gotta win out in order for the Cowboys to have a first round bye in the playoffs. So I have the Cowboys winning 42-35. Dak Prescott, I think he's gonna throw for 5 touchdowns to CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Brandon Cooks, and Jake Ferguson, because that's a healthy O-line. I'm just glad that we have Ferguson because he's kind of reminds me of a young Jason Witten. So Dak Prescott, try to protect the football, have your own line, try to give you more time so you can get the first downs, and try to give Tony Pollard the football more so he can get 1,000 yards this season. So anyways, those are your keys to a Cowboys victory. I will see y'all at the game Sunday night, Cowboys versus Eagles. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you for the game Sunday Night Football. So go Cowboys, and let's go beat those nasty Eagles. Peace.